Hello everybody, welcome back to the Final Fantasy X walkthrough. In the previous video, I spoke a little bit about the dream sequence there where Titus has about his father and his drinking. So that's a good little bit of information to have about Jecht. And it actually shows, kind of like it ends up kind of showing that he has a little bit of character development too, or you get to see glimpses of it.
A swift retreat. Satisfied?
What do you mean?
Those who turned from Yevon died, while the faithful live on.
The past 10 years have changed you, I see.
You do not look so well. But now, more than ever, you must be the people's strength, their confidence. Anyone else would be expected to show their sorrow. But you are a summoner. You are Spira's hope. Until sin is defeated, you must not relent. Do you understand?
Yes, I understand.
Are you afraid? Yuna, take me as your pillar of strength. As Yunalesca had her, Lord Zeon. Lady Yuna, until next we meet, farewell.
Alright, so two pretty major conversations there. Number one, Auron speaking with Keenock and essentially saying that,
you can't ignore the
teachings. Hey, everything worked as planned, huh? And Keenock is like, well, what do you mean? And Auron says, well, all the faithful lived, and all the ones who didn't follow the teachings essentially died. And then Keenock says something like, oh, well, I guess the last 10 years have really changed you, huh? And so, you know, I take from that what you will. I guess I always see it as number one, Auron he's been around a while. He obviously he knows what's going on and kind of see things. Maybe that was being cynical, maybe not. Maybe that was completely accurate.
Sin is Jecht.
Yeah. For a while there, I thought I could feel him. But that doesn't mean I believe you.
Sin is Jecht. He came here for you.
So he killed all those people just for a chance to see me?
That's what Sin does. He wanted to show that to you. Do you know why?
How am I supposed to know?
So you would kill him. As long as he is Sin, Jecht will keep killing. He wants you to stop him.
You gotta be kidding. How do you know all of this anyway? Done talking to you, don't you run away!
You're the one running.
Alright, so back to the Auron-Keenock conversation there. You know, and again, whether or not Keenock actually felt that way or that was the goal of the church, essentially, that's how it all played out. The second big conversation there was Yuna and Seymour. You know, I don't think we really have a whole lot of backstory on who Lord Zeon and Yunalesca were. But that will be explained, or maybe I guess I could. You know, Yunalesca was a summoner, and Lord Zeon was her guardian, as well as I think spouse.
I made a bundle with the operation
and they defeated Sin. So
they
you know, essentially what Seymour says there is, you know, take take me as your
I guess
pillar
the
of
summoners
strength, much
are our
like
only hope.
you know, Lady Unalesca had her Lord Xeon. And the thing about that whole situation is, to me anyways, it seems super weird. I'm sure to some other people it might too. Like, that's like super forward for somebody who essentially they don't know anything really about each other.
Hey, you two. Hurry up.
She's awfully cheerful.
In dark times, she must be. She must shine bright.
Huh?
Now are dark times. Yuna tries hard.
We should help her then.
If we worry, she tries harder. Do not frown.
Don't worry, be happy.
Kimahri try too.
Smile, let me see. Sad.
Alright, so on top of the whole weird Seymour being super weird, he also said something like, you know, you'd be expected to, you know, not show any signs of weakness after something like this has happened. You know, you have to be Spira's strengthened, you know, essentially, which, man, talk about pressure, right? Her job is already to defeat Sin, and then you're going to drop that on her. Okay, well, I guess that attests to Yuna's character. Anyways, but here I want to mention something really quick. I missed one of these Crusaders has a sword for Titus, and I want to say it's called the variable steel, I believe. And I'm not sure if I'm pretty sure, anyways, that it's got the same stats on it every single time, but it's got something like strength 3% or something like that. But then the cool thing about that one is it has 3 open slots. So that is one of the, you know, earliest weapons that you can get that many slots, and you can really customize that weapon after this. And I do want to point out this Basilisk here has one of the best Lancet abilities for Kimahri. So, or sorry, one of his best overdrives, and that's Stone Breath. You can already see from Waka, you know, using the TKO that that stone property is huge in this game. Yeah. And Kimahri can do the same thing using this. Here we are. So Lancet real quick, and there, bam, learn Stone Breath. All right, so that's the one. Obviously, it's not going to work. Oh, womp womp. It's not going to work on the basilisks themselves. Some monsters are immune to stone, but the ones that it's, you know, that are not immune, it just one-shots them. So, very useful for taking down some of the higher HP monsters in the game that are not immune to that. Because, like I said, it one-shots them. So, instead of taking multiple turns trying to take something down, oftentimes you can just smack them once and they'll be done. So anywho, back to the whole dialogue and stuff, I guess. Orin there at the end of, well, I suppose before we headed up the road, he mentioned that, you know, once again, Sin is Jecht, and Jecht went there essentially to see him. And, you know, I think he also mentioned something like, you know, he wants you to beat him, basically. And, you know, take that however you want, I suppose. Seems like it's not exactly, or wouldn't be so far-fetched. Alright. For the rest of these monsters here on the road, I don't think I cut out anything. I don't think I'm going to. I think I did a fairly decent job of keeping these battles a little shorter. You know, and not swapping out people like crazy. Because in all honesty, it really ends up being time consuming. Not saying that it's a bad thing, because it's a great way to level up your characters. But at the same time. For video purposes, you're not going to get much out of me, you know, I don't know, fighting the same monsters over and over. I tried to cut that down a bit. And there you have, you know, I mentioned it earlier, if you're playing, I'm sure it's already painfully obvious that the Aeons are immune to status effects. So, on some of these battles, it's just easier to bring in, you know, Ifrit or whoever your favorite Aeon is, and smoke them down, you know, just kill them real quick. Just like everywhere else, that guy right there, that might have been the guy. I think you have to talk to him twice to get the variables for the steel, which I unfortunately didn't do. Here he is again.
I'll take you all on.
See, I just didn't interact with him. What I ended up doing was coming back down the road and interacting with him, you know, after I had done a couple more of the actual scenes. So I did have to do a little bit of backtracking, unfortunately. But I would say that it was worth it. Again, that weapon that you get is extremely customizable, which, you know, unfortunately we can't do quite yet, but that would be right up. So, yeah, it's definitely something that's, I don't know, I think it's pretty cool. Alrighty. These guys obviously nothing new. I don't know what these things were called anymore. I just kind of thought that they were weird mushroom looking things. Yeah, these ones are the ones that I think if you attack them with a physical attack and it doesn't kill them, they'll retaliate with the pollen or whatever, the sleep attack, which is obviously super annoying. But yeah, anyways. Alright, oh yeah, almost forgot there. There's a hidden primer there behind that pillar. So make sure you're grabbing that. But, you know, just like everywhere else, I would say, you know, interact with all these NPCs if you can. Unfortunately, like I was saying with the variables too, I think you have to talk to that guy twice. So there's a potential, you know, if you're not, you know, spamming people and
Allow me.
interacting with them multiple times, that you would miss it. Which is exactly what I did. So, yeah, again, for everything else, though, I think you only have to interact with them once to get them to cough up whatever item they've got. I think we're getting really close here to a priest that'll give you, I don't know, it's something like a high potion or two, but, you know, nothing too fancy. But then there also was the one crusader at the very beginning, I believe, that gave us was it the soft ring? And I think that's the one that does stone proof. And obviously that's great, especially on Yuna, because she is one of the. I mean, granted, yeah, you can use items to get rid of the stone status, that being the item being soft. But I tend to hoard those kind of items, and I really like to. I usually use like Asuna instead. And they're the fossil Ketsith, however you want to say it. I don't know. It was one of the characters from Final Fantasy VII. But anyways, I think I got that, and I ended up resetting my game, unfortunately. So I think that was a weapon for Yuna that had Stone Touch on it as well. Or sorry, not Yuna, Lulu. And obviously with Lulu's atrocious physical attacks, that actually would have been really good. So unfortunately, you know, I ended up losing that item. Because like I said, I ended up resetting. So, you know, that was kind of crummy. Because, I mean, again, of all the characters that would be useful, and I guess, actually, Yuna wouldn't be too bad with one of those weapons. She could, you know, do a little more damage then.
This ends now.
I guess I use that term. You know, just because it does essentially just one-shots the enemies that are not immune to it. So yeah, so unfortunately lost that. Oh well, no big deal though. We got Waka, right? I'll be honest though, that it actually feels a little OP. There's some enemies, like I was saying earlier, that have a lot of HP that, you know, they just... I mean, when you can just one-shot some of those, it kind of seems OP. But, you know, whatever. It is what it is. It certainly wasn't going to stop me from using it. And actually, while I'm thinking about it, I don't think I've altered any of my, at this point in the game anyway, I don't think I've altered any of my character's overdrive modes. And what I mean is that right now, everybody, when they take damage, they fill up their overdrive meter a little bit. There's some, as you play and as you do more battles, that'll change. And one of my favorite ones from the early game anyway is the warrior overdrive mode, I believe is I guess how to describe it best. And what that does is every time your character deals damage, you will fill up some overdrive. There's another one, I think there's like a healer one where, you know, as you restore your character's HP, it will restore your overdrive. Obviously, Yuna is going to be one of the characters that's going to get that. I think she'll most likely get that before anybody else will, just because of the amount of healing that she does as opposed to everybody else. Waka gets one, actually, well, I mean, so here's the thing, too. Everybody can get all the different overdrive modes. Now, however you're using your characters is most likely what's going to dictate when you actually get those modes. Another one is, I believe it's called Ally, so whenever one of your allies takes damage, you will, you know, get a little bit of your overdrive meter filled up. And actually, I think that's even better than Stoic, because Stoic only, you know, restores it when you take damage, whereas, you know, unless one of your allies is dead, you know, that the ally should typically trigger more, and thus get you more overdrive than, you know, Stoic will. So yeah, so there's that. Again, there's a bunch of other ones. There's like Tactician, where you get more you get overdrive when you actually will have like status effects and that kind of stuff. But and that'll be, you know, useful for somebody like Waka, you know, somebody that's going to be applying those status effects quite a bit. But anyways, I'm getting close to the end here, so I'm going to cut it. So like, comment, subscribe if you guys want to do. If you guys are helpful, you're liking them, and hope you join me for more. All right, as always, thank you for watching.
Hey! How much longer till Xanarkand?
Still a ways.
First down the Moonflow to the Guado city of Guadosalam. Then we cross the Thunder Plains to the Temple of Makalania.
Oh, boy.
And before that, we get to pray at the temple in Jose.
We can't just skip all that, can we? Huh?
Mm-mm. I have to pray to the faith in every temple in order to earn the final Aeon.
That's a summoner's training. She's got to prepare mind and body, all just to get ready for the final summoning.
Must be tough, Yuna.
I'll be fine with you here.